Chalk Talk Social. Today is Friday, Freaky Friday. Austin had prior engagements, so we're missing Austin on the Friday episode. But listen, you got your man. I'm about my money. I'm about my biz. You know it's me when you hear that. There it is. With no glasses tonight. And we got the best producer in the world, Mr. Chi-Town, Mr. The Bears, Mr. The Cubs, listen, best producer in the world, my guy Joey is on.
What's up? How we doing?
Oh, man, another day, Joey, man. Listen, the weekend, I love weekend episodes for real. Kind of get my weekend started. Got another track meet tomorrow. 2 in 1 week is just, listen, Joey, when the season starts and doing indoor, just because we train outside, we try to get as many indoor meets as possible so we can get indoor actually run. So it's always a busy December and a busy January, and around February is our states and kind of regional. So we kind of throttle down a little bit, but yeah.
No, I get it. I work with high school kids too, and so we're gearing up in track and basketball and everything. And I know we get spring track, but I love indoor. It's a blast.
I love it too.
We got an awesome facility here in the south side of Chicago at Gately Park, and it's just state of the art. The Big Ten comes there. Everyone comes.
Wow.
It's like the one Midwest spot, and our kids get to go there too. And it's just we get to go in February as our indoor championships. Then we move on to outdoor in the spring. But it is a can't miss event. So I'm living the Iman lifestyle in February with all things track. It's fun.
Yes, now I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how coaches and athletes do it in Chicago, because my girlfriend's from Cleveland, so she used to tell me about like indoor training. It was like 32 today. It's probably maybe 20 is the lowest, and that's probably maybe only 4 to 5 days during the indoor season. I could only imagine though, Chicago. Goodness.
Oh, it's nuts. And this weekend, I don't know if you saw, for the Bear game and for everyone, it's like, I think it's a high of 8, maybe. So the wind chill is going to be negative 20. They said it might be the coldest game ever. And I said, that dome can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
You still go to those games when it's that cold, Joey?
Yes.
Goodness.
It is a sickness. I don't know why, but I like have to go. It's in my blood.
Oh my God, because we was at the Cleveland and Baltimore game, and I mean, it was kind of unbearable, kind of during third and fourth quarter. And granted, you get a few drinks and stuff in you and the energy's there, but goodness, we tailgated too. So we was out there from like 12 until the game started at 4, but 8 degrees.
That's our plan. 9 a.m. tailgate for a noon kick, and we'll see who survives.
8 degrees. I couldn't do it, Joey. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have to sell my ticket.
This might be one of the coldest ones. I remember going as a kid, like to play the Falcons on Monday Night Football, and it was like the other coldest game. But it's that funny spot in Chicago where the stadium's literally, if you go east, you're in water. Like there's no other land. You're on the lake. So you have no protection. So it's beautiful in the summer.
Yeah.
But then the NFL said, we're going to give you 3 home games in December and January. And it's like, finally, the games mean something. They're in a playoff hunt. But it's disgusting outside. Like, that's not fair that the Rams get to play in no conditions in Detroit. And, it's a different game. I want to see the best play at this time of year.
Yeah.
And you don't get that now. The athletes are too good to be playing in this kind of weather.
For sure. And as an athlete, I'm going to tell you, I played New Jersey, and I think New Jersey was the coldest, where it was like 16, 15 degrees. It was snow too. I'm a receiver. Like I said, it was dreadful. My hands couldn't get warm enough. The ball felt like I was catching a brick. So I can only imagine in Chicago. So, yeah. But I guess, like you said, it means something this year. So, hey, I guess an advantage for y'all during that time anyway, because everybody not used to it except Green Bay and Minnesota. But Minnesota played inside anyway. So, all right. Well, we can get today, people, we have a special guest. We're talking true New Yorker, true Mets fan, true Knicks fan. We're about to bring our guy on, give y'all a piece of New York, the slices, the big slices of pizza, the Subway. We're giving to you authentic today. So we're about to go into our guest tonight. Joey, let's go on and bring our guy Eddie on, and let's get to it. What's going on,
How's it
Eddie?
going, Eddie?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Friday, man. Another day. Sports, great week. Good weekend of football going on. Your Knicks, they're in the finals of the NBA Cup. I mean, I don't know if that means much, but I mean, it's a trophy.
Well, it's something because, again, this is a franchise that hasn't won in 53 years?
Oof.
We haven't won a thing. We haven't got to the finals in 25 years. So if we actually won this cup, I think it would mean a lot to the New York fans and especially all the Knicks fans throughout the country because we roll deep, that's for sure.
Yeah, the only thing I'd be scary about winning these cups is like you win them and then most of the teams don't make finals. So it's like, I'd rather lose the cup and make the finals.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, Indiana was like the runner-up, and then last year they kind of crept in. Last year they got to the finals, so I do think it's something. I mean, you know, the Lakers won the first year, kind of expected that. The Bucks won it last year. But if I was to see the Knicks versus OKC and we were the second team to beat Oklahoma City this year, that would give me a lot of hope as a Knicks fan. Because right now, you know, Oklahoma City is here and everybody else in the NBA is like right here. You know, nobody's close to them right now. They're looking like Golden State from 2015 or whatever it was, or dare I say it, the 95 Chicago Bulls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're on that pace.
Well, New York Knicks had a kind of successful year last year. I was actually pretty shocked by the firing of Tibbs. So what exactly is the pulse of the New York Knicks now that Mike Brown, who can I'm confused how he continue to keep getting the head coaching jobs, but what's the pulse of the New York Knicks right now with Mike Brown at the helm and how y'all been playing and what are y'all actually just feeling right now?
Well, listen, right now we're 17-7, second or third in the East. We won about eight of our last 9. And we've done this now with one of our best, probably our second most important player, OG Anunoby, hurt in that area. We went 6-3 while he's down. And now we just took another big blow with Deuce McBride going down. Deuce McBride, for the people out there that don't know him, this guy is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA as a guard. This guy is up there with the Davion Mitchells. He's up there with the best, you know, defending guards in the NBA. He is up there. He is quietly up there. The way this guy fights through screens, the physicality he gives you. Yeah, he's not 6'6", not 6'7", but he kind of plays like it. And he can hit the three-pointer like it's his second job. So he's a really important piece to this team. And I really like what I've seen out of him this year.
For sure. I've always wondered how Knicks fans feel about OG too, because he's like the highest paid player on y'all roster.
Yes.
And to me, he may be third choice for far as, you know, Brunson has to get the ball. And I think Cat is an exceptional talent. But how do Knicks fans feel about OG being the highest paid? And has he been living up to the contract as of?
The OG Anunoby has been worth every dime, okay? This guy is more important to the Knicks than Karl Anthony Towns. If you're a real Knicks fan and you watch every game, you watch the OG Anunoby effect. We've watched it since he's gotten here. Since he's gotten here and when he plays, the Knicks are a different team. Again, this guy is more important to the team than Karl Anthony Towns. When he plays on defense and what he's able to do to this team, he's a two-way player. The guy's one of the best, you know, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, one of the best interior defenders of the NBA. He should be up there with all defensive team number 1 easily this year. He won't win defensive player of the year, obviously, because, you know, our guy down in San Antonio is going to take that. But he is that important to this Knicks team. And when he's going offensively, it's like the cherry on top because it's just another guy, and he's efficient. He's one of the best. He's one of the best corner 3-point shooters in the NBA, and now he's could do other things. He could take it to the hole a little bit. He's got a little bit of a mid game finishes, plays up. He again, second most important player to this team behind Jalen Brunson, as far as I'm concerned.
I was a little disappointed that the other game when Desmond Bain threw the ball off his back. See, I'm used to the 90s Knicks with the Masons and Oakleys. That wouldn't have happened with them. That would have been a brawl. But I like OG. I think he's super athletic, long. I'm just figuring he's the highest paid, and we'll go from there. But
let's talk.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, no doubt. If that was Charles Oakley or Chris Childs or one of those guys, he would have been choked out. Desmond Bain would have been choked out. I mean, Chris Childs went and fought Kobe Bryant. Yes. So, that takes a pair if you're going to go and do that.
Let's talk coaching for a second here. What are your impressions so far with Mike Brown? I'm from Chicago, so I saw Tibbs coach here in some of the, I wouldn't call them glory years, but the better years the Bulls have had here as of late, and got them real close, and then it kind of fell apart. And the same thing seemed to happen in New York, at least that's the reasoning they got rid of him. But how are you feeling about Mike Brown, and were you a Tibbs guy, and how is this thing gelling now with him at the helm?
Well, look, when you talk about Coach Tibbs, you're talking a guy that came here and he rebuilt this franchise. He turned this franchise around from a laughing stock, from a joke, from the Brooklyn Nets making fun of us and them getting KD, and they got all the guys, and it didn't work. And we brought in Tom Thibodeau, and quietly over the course of 5 years, he made us into real contenders. Now, you can argue that he didn't really make us into a championship contender, but he got us to the Eastern Conference Finals. And that's pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned. But Tibbs, I think, had a ceiling. And I think that ceiling was reached last season. And we needed another guy to step in and take over and take the Knicks from ECF to finals and beyond. And I think Mike Brown, so far, from what I'm seeing out of Mike Brown, he's done a really good job. He's really done an excellent job in turning this team around. And I didn't like the hiring at first. I wanted Taylor Jenkins. I thought that he would be better, but Mike Brown seems to fit this team really well, and he seems to really understand this team. And the defense is what I'm most impressive with Mike Brown. The defense, because, we were a team that has gotten crushed by the three-pointer over the last in the Brunson era. We've gotten killed from the three-point line. This year, every year we were 29th, 29th, 30th in opponent's three-point percentage. Opponent's three-pointers makes. That's down to now 16th, okay? We're like midway now. So that's a really encouraging sign. And he's doing all the things that Tibbs did too well. We're getting second chance points. We're up there in offensive rebounds. We're up there in stopping fast break opportunities. We're still hustling, getting 50-50 balls, steals, all that stuff that lead to easy baskets. And we're making three-pointers. We have a different offense. It's not this stagnant, hero ISO ball. It's different. The ball moves now. And you watch it when you watch the Knicks every night. It's a different brand of basketball.
And that's what's nice is like, I remember with Tibbs, like defense is the bread and butter, but how he did it wore some guys down and didn't effectively, like you're saying, close out on the three. And so now you're saying, oh, okay, here's a version that can be better defensively, is plugging the holes of the three-point brutality they went through the last couple of years. And now offensively, it's gelling. And I think that's really hard when you got a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, especially with Brunson and Cat, that are established guys now, stars in this league. And you got a new coach coming in here in a big market. You got to keep that momentum. And he seems to have fit where other guys come in and don't. I think he's fit in the market and he's fit in the team.
Well, so far he's fit. I mean, we're up there in three-point percentage. We're up there with most three-pointers attempted, up there with most three-pointers made. The field goal percentage, when we started, we were dreadful. We couldn't hit a shot, but we were winning on our defense and our grit with second chance points, grabbing rebounds, running the floor, things like that. But now you're starting to see the offense coming into its own. Karl-Anthony Towns is more comfortable. He's starting to knock down shots now. The other guys are starting to get more comfortable. We're watching Mikal Bridges take that leap in becoming a borderline all-star now, where last year he kind of wasn't. This year he's taken the step. Like I mentioned, OG Anunoby's hitting shots now, and Josh Hart's been he was terrible to start the year from 3-pointer. They would just leave him open and let him shoot. He's making them pay now. I think he's up to 37% from 3, 38. So it's starting to come together for the Knicks, and that's nice to see. Like, it's nice to see a real offense for once, you know?
Yeah, and bringing up y'all starting lineup, which is a loaded one, like you just said, Cat, number 1 pick. We're talking about Jalen Brunson, certified bucket, OG, Josh Hart. You got Clarkson coming off the bench. In recent years, how do you kind of stack this starting 5 up? And is this starting 5 enough in your eyes with, I guess, a few other guys off the bench to get to a finals?
Well, look, right now, we just got the starting lineup back in place, right? We got Mitch back, Cat's back, OG's back. They're still, they experiment. Sometimes Cat's starting over Mitch, because Mitch is kind of on like, you can't play Mitch more than 25 minutes a game. But when he plays, he is so impactful to winning. Like, he's the best rebounder in the NBA. He's the best offensive rebounder in the NBA by a mile. And then you have Josh Hart. He was coming off the bench. That now he's being moved into the starting lineup, and that's being moved as well too. They're doing it based on who they're playing, right? So it all depends on who they're playing, and that's how they're doing it. When you're facing certain teams, you kind of got to match up with them. So, like, for example, when we face the Orlando Magic, big team, a lot of big guys on that team. Jonathan Isaac, you got Batadze, you got a couple other 7-footers. You got to play Mitch there. You can't really play Cat because Cat kind of gets exposed. You got to worry about them scoring in the paint. And then you have if you're going to go against them, you want Mitchell Robinson to start because he could protect the paint, whereas Cat really can't. And that's one thing that, I'm a little concerned about. I got to see what this Knicks team can do against the real contenders because we really haven't faced that many contenders yet. Yeah, we beat Cleveland. We beat Toronto 2 times. We beat Minnesota. But I got to see how we play against Oklahoma City. I got to see how we play against the Lakers, Houston, Denver, Detroit. I got to see those when we play those teams. And then I could tell you if we're a championship team. Because right now, I would say we could get to the finals for sure. But can we win the finals? I'd be a little hesitant to say that right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the window to get out of the East is open this year. I mean, yes. Indiana with injuries. Cleveland just don't look the same. I don't know what's going on over there. They don't actually look the same. So I think if any year just to get there is now, and what would it be in New York if y'all made a finals? I mean, because like I said, I haven't seen the finals from the Knicks since Larry Johnson and them. I can't remember exactly what year.
99.
Yeah, but Larry Johnson and them. But that would be exciting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I would love to get to the finals, but to be honest, I want to win the finals. I've seen the Knicks get there when I was a little kid. You know what I mean? I saw them get there in 94. I saw them get there in 99 when I was young, but we lost both times. I want to get there and actually win it this time because I had enough. I went through the Carmelo years. I went through 25 years of I'll say 21, 22 years of absolute garbage, this turn of the century. And finally, we're starting to see it. But the $1 million question is, does this team have enough to actually beat those teams out west? And I kind of have a question with that.
So would you give up, or who would you give up for Giannis? Are you wanting to be in the Giannis sweepstakes?
All right. So look, to win an NBA championship is very, very difficult, right? Like, so I kind of have my own little formula to win a championship. And I go by from 2019 on. And that to me is the post-super team era, right? Before that, we watched all super teams win the NBA Finals almost every year, right? It was LeBron and the Heat, KD and the Warriors, Sprinkle and the Spurs, whatever. But over the last 7 years, the super teams don't win anymore. You have to have it's a dynamic duo, right? You have to have a 1-2 punch. Then you have to have a nice bench that complements that. And then on top of that, you have to have all the C words: chemistry, coaching, cohesion, whatever, all the C words you can imagine, creativity, whatever. You have to have all that. And then the last thing is I think you need depth. We watched two teams last year. What did they have?
Yep.
What did Indiana and Oklahoma City have?
Yep.
Not only did they have everything I mentioned, but they had depth, right? They had extreme depth. 10, 11, 12 guys deep those teams could roll. So if I'm going to make a trade for Giannis and I'm going to give up all my depth and start over and make a Carmelo Anthony-like trade, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But if the right deal presented itself, I'm going to make that trade. I mean, I have a couple of them down here that I went over and I checked and I went through and, but again, the bottom line is this. Giannis has to force his way here.
Yeah.
Let's be perfectly honest. We don't have any draft picks. We gave them all up for Mikal Bridges. He's got to demand it, and they kind of got to take it. So that's the only way I see it happen. So the first trade I came up with was Giannis, his brother, and I think it's Cole Anthony, right?
Mhm.
Come to the Knicks. We get those three. We send out Towns, Deuce, one of those rookies, whether it's Kolek, Dadier, Huckporty, one of those three. The 2033 first round pick, because that's the only one we got left to trade, right? Then we have Washington's pick this year, but since it's not, they're going to be in the lottery. So since it's like top 10 protected, it's going to turn into 2 seconds. So that's what we could offer them. And then we could offer them swaps every year from now until 2032.
Mm.
Now, if I offer that to you guys and you're the Milwaukee Bucks, what would you say to me?
No, I will hang up. Click. Hang
you.
right up.
Right. Okay. So I'll get into something maybe a little bit more realistic and maybe something that the Bucks would bite on. Again, this is all that Giannis says, I'm only going to New York and I'm only re-signing with New York. He has to get – that's the only way this works. So here's my second trade. It's Towns, OG, the 2033 first, the Washington pick, every swap between now and 2032. You can have all the swaps. And we get back Giannis and Kuzma. And I think that's a deal. Like Kuzma's a bad contract. He's got another 2 years, making about $25 million left. I'm sure they would want to get rid of that. We're giving them Towns and OG. So they could, you could flip OG and definitely get at least 3 first-round picks, I think you could get for OG. And you could probably build around Towns if you want. Or you could go out and flip Towns and get a bunch of young guys from another team. So that was my second trade I came up with. And the last one is the Knicks selling their souls to the devil. Right? So basically it's the Carmelo Anthony trade 2.0. Right? So here it is. We send out OG, Bridges, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride,
Oof.
one of the young guys, whether it's Kolek, Dadier, Dewar, one of those guys, the 2033 first-round pick, the Washington pick, and all the swaps. And we get back Giannis's brother, Portis, Trent, and Kuzma. Now, you get back depth, but those pieces don't fit what the Knicks are doing, man. You know what I mean? It's just, to me, I'd rather do the second one. I don't want Bobby Portis. I don't want Gary Trent. I don't want Kyle Kuzma unless I have to take them. Right? So that's it. And the numbers all worked out on all those trades. I did it. It works out. I went through the salary cap and all that stuff. So those are the deals, It's just up to Giannis, I guess.
Yeah, that's second one. Second one is kind of more better in my eyes.
Realistic.
Yeah, that last one.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
You're giving up too much depth. That's exactly your point. What are you left with for this finals run? Is it worth it?
Right. It's one thing if it was Towns and Deuce, right? Like Deuce is a really good player. Like this, and he's on like a $4 million contract. He makes nothing, and he produces. He's starting. This guy should be making $20-something million. So if I give up Towns and Deuce and all my picks and swaps, and they take it, like I'd be so happy with that. But again, I don't know if Milwaukee will take that. Milwaukee's probably going to want OG, right, over Towns, I would think. And then the last one, you're giving up pretty much everybody.
Yeah, but now I do say this. If Giannis is motivated to win, we did see him bring a championship into the Milwaukee. They didn't really they had Drew Holiday and Middleton, but he literally carried them that whole final series. So number 2 sounds good if Giannis is motivated to come and win and bring a championship to New York. Because Giannis still, to me, is one of the most dominant players in the NBA. So I want to kind of see him move. But yeah, that would hurt the Knicks, all of those trades. Now, you brought it up earlier when KD went to Brooklyn. I don't know if you were a little mad or happy, but
I called it.
Yeah, but how did you feel about y'all not being able to grab KD? We heard they made like a personal Wu-Tang video with KD. I don't know if that was going to warm or not, but
I mean, look, at the end of the day, they failed miserably.
Yeah.
They failed miserably. It didn't work out. They went and got James Harden too, and that was James Harden still had something left, 3-4 years ago, and it just didn't work out. Again, super teams, they don't work anymore, and we're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Suns; it didn't work. So, to me, it's kind of laughable now because they were pumping all 5 of the Brooklyn Nets fans that live in New York, because there's no Brooklyn Nets fans. Like, if you are from New York, there is no Brooklyn Nets fans. Maybe the kid's 10 years old now or 15 years old, whatever it is. But there's no New York. The New York Knicks run New York. They run it. The people go to watch the Knicks in Brooklyn because the prices are cheaper.
Wow.
That's why the Knicks fans go. Or if you want to go out and see LeBron, you get your tickets to see LeBron at Barclays because it's going to cost you about $500 or $600 cheaper than it will in MSG. So that's what Brooklyn is good for.
Listen, being a Knicks fan, I understand y'all because I was a Cowboys fan for years. So I just been through 30 years of brutal not getting to where I'm going. So I kind of like Knicks fan because y'all still every year just sell out the arena. Spike Lee and Ben Stiller and all of them still there. Who's your biggest fan of the Knicks, you think? Who you think?
Like celebrity fan?
Yeah, celebrity fan.
I'll tell you who I think. It's Lloyd Banks.
Wow.
Lloyd Banks. This guy, I do a lot of the Knicks spaces at night. This guy's in every one of our spaces. He's in here. He's talking Knicks. He's like a regular dude. This guy's one of the biggest Knicks fans. Now, he may not have the, celebrity. He's not the A-lister that, Ben Stiller is or Spike Lee is. But when I tell you diehard, this guy lives and breathes Knicks. He's on every spaces for hours on end.
Wow.
And he comes up and he talks and he's smart and he knows everything, and he's a great fan.
Out of all the rappers, I would have never guessed it. Lloyd Banks. I mean, because Fat Joe sit courtside, Joe Buttons is like behind.
But Fat Joe doesn't interact with the people. Lloyd Banks does. He's part of the Knicks community, and that's what makes him so great. And Ben Stiller, I got to give him credit too. He came out. The Knicks Twitter had a basketball day. We had a basketball tournament last summer, and Ben Stiller came out and he came out, took pictures with everybody. So it's pretty dope. We have a lot of celebrity fans, but the biggest diehard is by far and away Lloyd Banks.
Wow, that's a deep cut. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie, we really appreciate the time. I want to make sure people know where to find you on all your handles for all things Knicks and whatever else you love to talk about.
Yeah. Well, you can find me at Eddie Presti _ on X. And I just started up a new YouTube page, and it's called The Knicks and Mets Addiction on YouTube. It's brand new. I don't even know if it's live yet, but I think it's about to go live because I had to rebrand it because I was doing both of them, and now I decided to combine both the Knicks and the Mets into one page. So it's just easier for my fans. That's
awesome. Yeah, we forgot. We got to ask you about your Mets. What the hell's going on? Diaz gone, Alonso gone. It's not like Cohen doesn't have any money. So what's going on here?
Am I allowed to curse?
Yes.
Bro, it is a fucking disaster, okay? It's a fucking nightmare. I mean, it's a gut punch. It's a total gut punch. This guy Stearns, I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing. I mean, you get rid of Pete Alonso and you don't replace him with anybody. I mean, this guy's has the third most home runs in MLB since 2019, and you don't replace him with anybody. I would have been happy if you replaced him with Kyle Schwarber. I could have lived with that. But we don't even got Kyle Schwarber because the Mets don't want to give 4 or 5 years to another, great power hitter. It's a disgrace. We lost Diaz for $3 million.
Crazy. That's crazy.
We're one of the richest teams in baseball. For $3 million. I mean, what are we doing here? So at this point, you might as well trade Lindor while you're at it, right? And let's just build around number 22, right? Because that's the way it's looking to me. You might as well. You got rid of Nimmo. You got rid of Diaz. You got rid of Pete. You might as well just rip off the Band-Aid and get rid of Lindor while you're at it, because it's a disgrace. And the biggest kick in the balls is the fact that if they were going to do this, why didn't they do it prior when Stearns first got here? Because we could have got something for Alonso. We could have got something for Diaz. Imagine what we could have got at the deadline for these guys. We could have started the rebuild. But instead, they got a bunch of relievers that didn't work. And we could have got into the playoffs the last day, but we lost that game too.
Man.
So it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare to be a Mets fan right now.
Well, Eddie, we want you to shout out your handles again, so make sure everybody got it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I could probably talk to you all day. Your energy, I felt like at some point he was gonna be like, forget about it, but I didn't get one. But shout your handles out again. We just appreciate you again. Anytime you want to come on and just, especially if y'all make the playoffs and y'all get in the finals, we gotta bring you back and see how you're feeling and just get the energy of you. But give your handles again. And
yeah, man, and I appreciate you guys having me on, man. And again, anytime you guys want me, let me know. And I do shows too, so if you guys want to hop on there, I do pretty good. So I'm at Eddie Presti _ on X, and it's called the Knicks and Mets Addiction on YouTube. Coming soon. I don't know if it's live yet, but I think it's about to be live pretty soon. Okay. So we'll check that out. So appreciate you guys having me.
Appreciate you again, Eddie. Yep.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Sir.
Thank you, guys.
What a energy, man. That guy, Eddie, just was giving it to us. Like awesome. I said, I was waiting for him to say, forget about it.
It is the best. People talk about awesome Australian accents, what have you. When you got an actual New Yorker with that accent, it is the best punch in the face. Like, it is awesome because it can't not be passionate. Like, I wonder what a bad day sounds like.
Exactly.
Like, it's never not, it's okay. A day was fine. It's always, bam!
And when he asked, could he cuss, I couldn't wait to say yes because I knew he was about to let it go. So that was pretty good. Joey, we're about to get into the news desk, man. And
nothing happened this week.
Listen, a lot of things has happened. I mean, and I can't wait to talk about it. So, hey, let's get right into it.
We are starting with everyone's favorite topic this week, the Michigan Wolverines. I don't even know where to start. But for those who may have been living under a rock, Sherron Moore is no longer the coach of the Wolverines. Why? Well, that is a very complicated question. The short is, has an affair with his executive assistant, whose dad, by the way, is a scout for the Bears. That's my favorite part. So now I'm tied into this shit, okay? Then they're investigating a relationship because he's not supposed to have an affair, obviously, with another staff member on his staff. And investigations come and go. Push comes to shove. She comes forward and admits that, yes, they're having a relationship. He is then fired, which, by the way, before that, he had given her a 55% raise in her job as I don't know if a thank you, but keep quiet, whatever it is. But this is just spiraled like crazy where he gets fired from the job, clearly is having a mental breakdown with this and with everything going on that is now public, barges into her home, threatening her, is suicidal, all these different things where he's now detained by police, currently still, as we're talking now, in custody on charges they haven't announced yet. But boy, oh boy, what a crazy timeline that has taken over the sports world. And I don't even know what to ask you about this, of just, what are your thoughts going into this? This is bananas.
Yeah. So, and I tell people all the time, when it comes to things like this, I don't like to seem judgmental. We're all flawed as human beings. But I think once you become a coach and you sit in front of young men and you tell them, I'm going to make you a better man, you talk about commitment, sacrifice, and discipline. To me, this is just to me, I think you got to have it, because kids don't follow what you say. They follow what you do. So Sherron Moore is just flat out wrong. Cheating, men cheat on their wife. I get that. But why are you cheating with somebody that's on your staff that you're tied to directly? Did you hire her? I don't know. Maybe she was somebody hired through her dad and, she just happened to fall in there. But what coaches need to start doing is just hire ugly ass executive assistants. I mean, Joey, to me, the only fix can be that. Let's just hire not attractive women, not young women.
It's like that Seinfeld episode where George has to, have you seen that one where he has got to interview all the secretaries and the assistants, and he's like, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you can no longer ever be considered for this job.
Exactly. Goodbye. Bring in Mrs. Doubtfire, somebody that looks closest to that. Maybe the Wicked Witch of the West. And to me, you could have probably got another job if you would have just admitted to it, let it sit down, go away. But when you went to her house to threaten her and they said he had a knife, I mean, you just escalated this situation to, I don't think another university will touch you. I don't think you can be able to go in the NFL. Nobody will touch you. So I hope you saved your money. And I pray for him, because the mental state he's probably in.
Oh, absolutely.
I just pray he's able to just take accountability for this, and his life is not over. You're young, you're rich. And let's be clear. You had $1 million contract. You're rich. You can go coach high school. You'll find another way to get back to this. But man, and not only that, I think he put Michigan in a tough position, because I heard they found out about this earlier and everybody denied it. Now you're getting fired after the transfer portal's open. Other big names, Matt Campbell just went to Penn State. I mean, you got to think about recruits. Recruits are probably sitting back. Y'all paid Bryce Underwood all that money. He's probably sitting like, nah, I'm not going to be a part of this shit next year. I need to go right back down to LSU, because remember, he signed to LSU at first.
Mm-hmm.
And they grabbed him. So I wouldn't be shocked in the next few days they lose 20.
Oh, easy.
20 recruits. So, I mean, Michigan may be pushed to that point where Penn State was when Joe Paterno initially went through all that scandal and shit. I think Michigan is really about to hit rock bottom, because who do you hire at this point, Joey?
Right. That's the question, because you've missed the cycle, right? So you can throw around names like, will Kalen DeBoer go there? Or is Jeff Brom going to go there? Are they going to promote from within? But it's too late now.
Yes.
I know that sounds crazy, because we literally just talked about Lane Kiffin and we're angry that it happens in the middle of the year, what have you. But that's the sport right now. That's the calendar. And so now you have a program here that's stuck. And with a transfer portal, it's one thing, and this is 5-6 years ago, where all these guys can't just get up and leave when a coach gets fired or what have you, or leaves on their own volition. Now it's going to be a free-for-all. And I don't know who would want to touch this program between everything that went on with Harbaugh before, right? Yes, they won a title, but there's always controversy with that. And now you have this, where there's clearly and obviously an issue with the coach and the staffer and mental issues, in which we, Well, what he did was, probably in most circles considered wrong. He's clearly dealing with a lot that I want to, emphasize and make sure he gets help and taken care of. But this was festering. And so if it's festering for, let's say, half the year, the full year, and then comes to light, there's clearly something institutionally that's still wrong at Michigan. And
for sure,
I wouldn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. And it's kind of a scary spot to try to put your stamp on, especially in a program that's that big of a program. I mean, this is one of those that you dream of having that job.
Exactly.
And if you're good, you're there forever.
For sure. For sure. And I want to pray for the young lady, too, because, I mean, her face is being
she doesn't deserve that either.
Everywhere. And I can only listen, I know Rapid fans. Michigan has a Rapid fan base where they're probably attacking her. And she can take some accountability for things because he is a married man, like baby girl. So I just suggest to all coaches, my uncle used to tell me all the time, nephew, I paid a prostitute to leave. So, listen, that just, get somebody where you can pay them to leave because you don't want any of this lingering on. But such a sad situation, and I think us coaches got to do better when we're a leader of men and just having some discipline. And like I said, this is an ongoing story. I mean, so many coaches get caught with this type of things, man. But goodness freaking grief. It's embarrassment to your family, just to your wife, to the university, and to your name. So just get a little bit of discipline. I tell people all the time, I'm grateful. I coached with my sister for a long time. I coached with my girl. So, it's I don't have no room, Joey. I don't have no room. And my girl's 5'10", 175. She's looking at everybody with the eye like, come on over here if you want to. It's going to get some ass whooping going on. So if you mess with him. So just get some discipline, guys, and we'll be all right. But what's next, Joey?
Next up, we're going to go back into baseball for a little bit. I know we talked a little bit with Eddie about this, but this Mets situation is fascinating. Alonso to the Orioles, as we talked about, 5 years, $155 million. They went for it with Soto. They went for it with Lindor. Their owner's loaded. And now they're playing cheap? Like, this is a team that went to the NLCS in 2024, as Eddie said, just on the cusp of making the playoffs last year. But you got the richest owner in baseball, and they're seemingly not willing to invest in this team right now that was supposed to be built to win right now.
I was more shocked that Baltimore actually paid Pete Alonso.
Too.
That kind of threw me for a loop because I'm like, y'all not known to go out there and get those superstars. But too, Joey, I think the industry and sports is monkey see, monkey do. And I think they maybe be trying to say, hey, look at what the Brewers did last year, or look at what some of these other teams, they're winning, and they're not spending all this money. So maybe let me try to save $300 million between losing all those players and see what we can do. But to me, I'm not letting Pete Alonso out the door. Especially if I got the money. If I got the money to do it, I'm going to keep this team together, and I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off because it doesn't – I'm rich. I'm not going broke. Mets fans are going to continue to buy tickets whether they're winning or losing. So you're going to profit every year. But I was more shocked that Baltimore really took a swing at it, and now – we're going to see what Baltimore going to do. Is Pete Alonso going to make a difference in Baltimore? We'll see. But I know some of them, more than just him, Eddie tonight, the Mets fans are probably, goodness grief, they're going crazy.
Yeah, and I get it, too, because, with the Cubs here, they have a ridiculously rich owner as well, and they've just decided since COVID to be cheaper. And it's so frustrating because they went all in first off in his – let's say first 5 years. They won a World Series for the first time in a million years. And then when the pandemic happened, they cried poor. And it was like, wait a minute. You're not losing money from the pandemic stoppage. You're losing potential profit. You're still a billionaire. And it never continued. And so they do little things here and there to bring you back in. They're a playoff team, obviously, last year. But it's this idea of they're choosing to not spend. And baseball allows you to do that. And that's what's crazy. I know our next topic here is kind of on that similar vein, and we can get to that. But it's this idea of the owners can be as rich as they want to be. Even look at Pittsburgh, right? And then they decide we're not going to spend. That was the best meme of the week. Was the report that the Pirates put an offer in for Kyle Schwarber, and that's their banner. We offered Kyle Schwarber money. That's what their accomplishment was, because they never have done that. Not that they paid it, they offered it.
And like you said, getting into the next topic, if I'm a billionaire owner, I'm saying I'm looking at what the Dodgers is doing. Hey, they're throwing this money around and they're bringing in trophies. If I got it, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what they're doing. I'm going to throw this money around. So I'll let you get into the next one. But listen, I'm doing what the Dodgers do because I want to win.
It's the Dodgers world, and we're just living in it, right? The rich get richer. They get Edwin Diaz. They're in strong pursuit of Skubal from Detroit. There seems to be no stopping this organization. I know we talked about Schwarber going to the Phillies. That's a rich organization too. But this Dodgers thing is crazy. It makes everyone else look like cheapskates. And every small market club is like a little relegated soccer team. It's a different sport the Dodgers are playing. And I don't know how this is sustainable here. Everyone keeps talking about a lockout in 27. I'm like, no, that doesn't happen anymore. We're past those eras. But here's a real issue. Like, if you're the Tigers, who were a playoff team last year, I would, as a fan, or as the ownership, of course we're re-signing the best pitcher in baseball. But clearly, he's being shopped. And you go, why is a market like Detroit allowed to do that? And the Dodgers come in and are like, yeah, we'll take him. Yeah, we'll take Diaz. We have no limit to how much we're willing to spend. It's just a completely different sport if you're in LA or if you're in Cincinnati. It's crazy.
Which I always thought Major League at some point should get a cap, because I do think it's kind of unfair advantage when you do have owners who can just spend and and clearly it's working. The Dodgers are winning World Series, so they have a formula. We're just going to keep bringing in talent. But can we be mad at an organization who's trying to win? And if it's only money we need to spend to win, I got a lot of it. Right. I got a lot of it. Magic, everybody here got a lot of it, and we enjoy winning. We're addicted to winning. So whatever it takes, because we make the money back too. I mean, it's LA now. And when you win a World Series, I always wonder how much money championships bring in. I guess in a big marketplace like that, like, do they actually see a big jump in profits every year? But it's the Dodgers. They're never gonna
go like if Seattle won, then you'd get that.
Yeah, but I definitely think they need a salary cap, because. And then again, I don't know. I'm lying. Then again, I'm lying. Because the World Series was awesome this year. I just love seeing a damn near all-star game being played, because that's what it takes to win. So I'm lying. I enjoyed the World Series this year. I want to see the Dodgers back next year. So I'm lying.
See, my argument is against the salary cap. I think is important. Mm-hmm. I actually think it would help baseball to have a salary floor, a minimum spend, because we've seen that in basketball with the new CBA, and it's been life-changing for teams. Yeah. Like they have you have to spend a minimum to compete in this league, and we're not a sport that has relegation and promotion, so that's your benchmark. So if Pittsburgh or Cincinnati or somewhere is forced to spend $80 million, I think that can help with parity. They're still not going to spend $500 million, but if they're forced to spend a threshold that makes them competitive, I think that helps tremendously. It forces them to be relevant. When in April you go, oh, they got a $30 million payroll, I'm not even going to show up to support this team.
Yeah. And I mean, if nothing else, they can look at the NCAA model. Like, who would have thought Indiana would be a powerhouse in college? And like I said, that expands the sport. I don't care what nobody say.
Completely.
If Indiana now is popping for college. So I think that is kind of smart, Joey, because it expand the sport and make the sport bigger, because now, like you said, we have a reason to go to the stadium and root for our team because we have a chance to freaking win because y'all spent the money. So that is pretty smart.
Yeah,
What's
so
next,
we'll
Joey?
see. Well, you mentioned Indiana. We're sticking in the state, but we're going to the Irish side of the state. Notre Dame keeps making headlines. The drama continues. We know, obviously, they were snubbed from the CFP. They refused to go to a bowl game. But the wrinkle this week now is the Memorandum of Understanding. The fancy word that their AD and the leagues are using that will basically guarantee Notre Dame a spot next year based on their ranking in the college football playoff, regardless of what plays out like it did this year, where they were higher ranked but left out. Now, ADs across the conferences are threatening to freeze out Notre Dame in scheduling, whether it's in football, other sports, because they're not part of a conference, and they got to make their own schedule every year, to which the Big Ten and the ACC and the SEC can say, no, thank you. We're good. So what are your thoughts on this whole scenario as it keeps playing out? And is this program still good, of like deserving of their pedestal and special? Are they kind of coming off like your Cowboys, a little spoiled here and a name more so than a program?
Man, I'm going to tell you, Joey, I don't know how I picked these teams as my team.
You did good.
Yeah, I mean, because let's preface this. I've been a Notre Dame fan as long as I was a Cowboy fan. I remember the Tony Rice days, the Lou Holtz, the Jerome Bettis, even Joe Montana. And I was kind of younger during his years, but I would go back and this is some soft shit. I'm just being honest. This is real soft shit. Notre Dame hasn't won a national title in years. So I'm confused why they think that they're a pedestal team in the NCAA. And to me, football is played in between the lines, from goal line to goal line, 50 to goal line. Y'all had y'all chance. You didn't do anything. You lost as a coach, as a culture, as an AD. You should go to the players and say, hey, listen, we don't lose next year, so we don't have no reason to be left out. Period.
Right. Like the Vanderbilt coach said. He's like, it is our fault we're not in because we weren't good enough. That's accountability.
And when has Notre Dame team been good enough to win a national title? Every year we get here, the past few times at the CFP, we lose. We get the shit beat out of us earlier when it's BCS and I remember
Manti Te'o and all.
Oh my God, I knew we was gonna get killed once that stuff came out with our best player getting catfish for years. I said, oh, it's over for us when that happened. I said, man, you know what? Our leader is an idiot, so we're not winning. But I think this is the softest. Like, just and we know Notre Dame is a powerful institution. I mean, they got money, they got influence, and clearly they pushed the button and used it, but use it for basketball, maybe use it for soccer, maybe use it for baseball. But for to do this soft shit for the football program, you're never gonna win, because now the kids just think, hey, we should be there because we're Notre Dame. They're not going to go work hard and earn it on the field. So I'm not with this. Joey, it's looking like I may be looking for another college team next year. I hate to keep jumping ship, but clearly I'm embarrassed.
Enough.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed by this. I'm really embarrassed that they did that. And now I do agree with the other universities. Like, all right, y'all don't want to join the conference and y'all want to do this, fuck it. We're not playing y'all next year. So we'll see if y'all can even schedule games next year.
Easy. Yeah, it's a fascinating story that clearly won't go away even as we get closer to the CFP, and that's the Lane Kiffin promo bowl. So we'll see if Notre Dame can keep in the news if Ole Miss makes a run here, but it should be fun.
Yeah.
Next up on our list here, we're switching to the pros, NFL. I know we previewed it on our last show with Phillip Rivers working out for the Colts. He now is a Colt and is most likely the starting quarterback for this weekend's game for the Indianapolis Colts. He is 44 years old. He hasn't played since 2020. He is currently a grandfather. He is the second ever grandfather to quarterback in the NFL behind Brett Favre. So there's some history there. But this is just a fascinating scenario because it's also a massive failure on the Colts' part to have a plan in place. But also, is this going to work? Like, he hasn't played all year. I get worried that this is just not the smartest thing for, well, one, the Colts are desperate, but two, like you said last show, for him, go find another hobby. Do something else. Don't come get your brains beat out at 44 years old when you're retired and literally a year away from probably being in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know why. In the harken back, you know who their backup was? Riley Leonard, who played for who last year? Notre Dame. Fucking bum. So the fact they got to go get a granddad because they got a bum. The more I start thinking, I'm like, man, can we bet against these old guys? Because I remember when Brett Favre came back, he wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I remember when people said Tom Brady, hey, he might be too old. He wasn't too bad. Aaron Rodgers is not looking too bad, but Phillip Rivers, to me, he was never that caliber of guy anyway. So let's start there. He was never the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's, and not a Brett Favre to me. Now, the Colts have a better team around him that he had in 2020. The line is more developed. He has more weapons. He actually has a legit running game where maybe all he has to do is hand the ball off maybe 30 times a game, make a few throws. Now, what I also heard, Joey, is he's been running Shane Steichen's offense with his high school team. They say they've been using the same terminology, some of the same concepts. So maybe it's an easy transfer because he said he actually talks to Shane Steichen like once a week. He helps.
Oh, then this has been in the works then.
Yeah, maybe they just been thinking, hey, let's just keep this in the back of your mind if something happens. So maybe it can work. I just don't see it. And I'm with you, Joey. Phillip Rivers, these guys are faster. And did you see who they got left on their schedule?
Brutal.
It is a brutal run. This is not going to be – now maybe if it was the Bengals and the Raiders and Tennessee, Phillip, you can carry them in. But what you got left, man, I'm a betting man, so I wouldn't bet on it working because Phillip Rivers, like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, Seahawks, Niners, Jags, and Texans.
Those are three legit defenses.
Those are going to beat the crap out of you.
Goodness, the Seahawks defense is legit. I don't know if they may go 0-4. I mean, and like I said, the old guys usually come back because they can use their brain. And I think football is if I'm just smarter than y'all, I'm not going to make this hard. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it working. I just don't see it working. So, listen, I hope it worked because I don't want him to come back and really get fucked up for the rest of his life. But, man, I wouldn't want to do it. I'm not going to lie to you. Joey, I don't want to play flag football at my age now. And I'm younger than Phillip Rivers. Haven't took the nowhere near the beating he's taken. I don't want to play flag football right now.
I get it. These guys are wired different, man. It
power
is
to you, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Our last topic on the news desk here is just previewing some games for this weekend. We got 4 key matchups in the NFL. We'll start in the AFC, Buffalo and New England. I find this fascinating because if you would have asked in the beginning of the year, right, who are you looking for in the AFC? It's, of course, Lamar and Mahomes. And Allen, now you're sitting here. Lamar's gone. Mahomes is gone. I know your Ravens didn't take advantage of this window, but here are the Bills still there, probably still Super Bowl appearance favorites, but New England and Drake May are here, and they have a real shot, not only in this game, but to move really far in the AFC playoffs. So it's a old guard, new guard that I think the new guard is here a lot quicker than anyone anticipated. But what are you thinking going into this game against Bills and Pats?
Must win for Josh Allen. He's gonna probably have to keep playing his best like he's been doing, pretty much carrying the team. It's a must win because with their schedule left too, it's a few games that they can slide. I do think they'll have an advantage because New England is a young team, and with young kids, the more success you have, you kind of start relaxing, getting complacent. Even they can lose a few and still not hurt their chances getting in the playoffs. So I think this is a game that the Bills can sneak over. Now, if I know Mike Vrabel, like I know him, he's off the chip off the old Bill Belichick block. He's going to have his team ready. He's going to have them motivated to say, hey, we can't let up. But Josh Allen is going to be a tough thing because he's playing well. Like I said, I think it's a must win for the Bills because they can make a 2-3 game skid in these next few games. But I think if they get this win, they can kind of secure themselves with a good position going in the playoffs, which is still I don't see the Bills doing much, man. Every time I look at them play, I'm like, where's the talent there? It's just like it's Josh Allen, Superman or nothing. I mean, I just don't see.
Yeah, I get it.
The defense is not really. The offense is like Shakur has been playing hide and seek the past few weeks. So it's like it's either Josh Allen or nothing. So even if the Bills win and make the playoffs, I think it's going to be an early exit for them this year because I just don't see it. And I think they need a new voice in anyway. I never liked McDermott. So, yeah, I think the Bills will take it this weekend because the young New England will get complacent. So I'm going with Bills this weekend.
Yeah, and I think I'd go with the Bills too. And it's just a weird spot where it's a year where I go, okay, I want the Ravens to make a run to the Super Bowl, or I want the Bills because Mahomes is out of the way. Like this could be their only shot. And even what's crazier is for the last X amount of years, the AFC's been the dominant division. And you come in, okay, you play the Eagles whatever it is. Now, if Buffalo were to make it, here comes all these NFC teams that are lining up to take you down. It's crazy. So we can look at the NFC now, and we'll go to Austin's Green Bay Packers, which hurts me all over. But they play Denver, and same story here, right? Bo Nix. It's not the idea of star quarterback heading into the year. Where now this is a big matchup between Jordan Love and Bo Nix.
Which I'm excited to see if Bo is really who they say he is.
Me too.
And he has been doing well these past 2 years. But every time I look, I be like, is this guy elite? And I think where the Packers team is this year, which they're looking like they're one of the best teams in the NFC, is going to be a good challenge. Now, the Denver Broncos defense is for real. We know that they're definitely going to give Jordan Love some issues this weekend. But I am locked in to see if Bo Nix is going to be that quarterback who can take the Broncos to that next level where they're going to have a chance to win a Super Bowl again. And I think this is going to be a great test with Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary. That defense is also another defense that, surprisingly to me, is pretty good because Austin would talk about his DBs early in the year, and they're starting to get their groove going, getting some turnovers. So I'm excited to see what Bo Nix is going to do. Where's that game being played at? In Green Bay?
Let me double check. I always forget. Green Bay and Broncos. I believe it's in Denver?
Hmm.
Yes, in Denver.
Okay. Well, I guess Bo Nix will have his crowd. He'll be home. We'll see how it go. I would have rather see him play in Green Bay at Lambeau, just to see what he's built with. But hey, we still gonna see because Green Bay is gonna come into town and play hard the whole time. So we'll see. I'm gonna take the Packers by 3, though. I'm gonna take the Packers by 3.
Yep. Logic would tell me that too, but I can't. So I hope Denver wins because knock those Packers out of first place because then next week the Bears play the Packers and that's going to be jumping.
Battle for first again.
Cannot wait. All right, next one up. I know we talked a little bit about Indy already, but the Colts and the Seahawks. This is an interesting one where, the Seahawks have, I'll say in my opinion, quietly been one of the top teams in the NFC. And they're playing against a Colts team that was clearly the AFC South favorite, decimated by injury, and now has Grandpa at quarterback. So what are we thinking in this matchup? Can the Seahawks keep their winning ways, or is Old Man Rivers coming and shutting that door?
Nah, I think the Seahawks in the blowout. Now, I am excited to see what Darnold is during the season when it mattered because with Minnesota, he kind of crumbled and folded. So this year, I'm excited to see when the lights are at the brightest, when the team is going to need you in this December stretch. I want to see how Sam Darnold's going to play. I said it maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and Austin was like, oh, how are you putting the Seahawks over LA? I'm telling you, this Seahawks team is a low-key sneaking in to being one of the best teams in the NFLs. And I said it a few weeks ago. But I still have to see Sam Darnold when it matters because he's shown me numerous times when it mattered. He just doesn't play. Yeah, I mean, goodness grief. You would think he's looking at Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, all at one because he gets them ghosts. And, man, he turns from All-American to JV player. So I want to see what he can do. Big time, but I just don't think Indianapolis it's just been too much going on. I don't care what nobody says. It's them losing Daniel Jones. They're probably panicking in the building. The defense is like, man, we bringing in fucking Phillip Rivers. Fuck, we're done. So I just don't think the Colts are going to be ready to play. So I think it's going to be a blowout for Seattle this weekend against the Colts. The Seattle by 21.
All right, and the last game we have to preview here, on paper, is probably the best one, Lions and Rams. The Lions trying to keep their playoff hopes alive in the hunt. Stafford against his old team, having another MVP-like year. What are we thinking going into this game between these two teams?
I always be wondering when teams ship you off between Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, what's their how they be feeling going against the team. So I'm wondering which quarterback is more motivated to say, hey, you see what you sent off or you see what you let get out of the building. I think LA is a better team right now. But Detroit is getting further and further away from Chicago and Green Bay. So this is a must win for them.
Absolutely.
And usually coming off a loss, you can guarantee a win, but they just won. So I'm not sure which, and that's the only thing. The Lions this year is like, you see one game, they look like the Lions of last 2 years, and then you see another one and like, is this the Barry Sanders Lions? And so which Lions team will show up? We know the LA defense, the line is coming. Jared Goff can't move. He's cement feet. I mean, I'm going to go with LA. I'm going to go with LA by 7. I just think Detroit, I'm going to keep saying it, just losing your coordinators. Dan Campbell is not as aggressive as he used to be. So I'm going with LA by 7 this week.
And I would like LA too, because the further down you push the Lions, hopefully the Bears can move back up. But yeah, you're right. It's Lions are a really good team, but it's fascinating to see, especially being in Chicago, how having the right offensive mind matters. And they're okay. Like, they're doing really well. But you see just how much Ben Johnson transformed that team in the last couple of years to make them what they were. And now trying to do it in Chicago, that these when you don't have, we've said it all the time, that offensive coach as your head coach, and you lose them, you take a dip. Yes. Every time. We've seen it in every scenario. So I feel bad for the city, but they're having some glory years that they've long deserved. I just hope that it doesn't last too much longer, and my team can get up, and then the Rams will put them to bed.
Yeah, we did it tonight, though.
Woo!
Joey, I feel like Mike and Paul McCartney tonight, man. The girl is mine. We went back and forth. You know, we did our thing tonight without Austin. Austin, you know, we'll see you next week. But hey, this may be the 1-2 combo that the world needed. No, I'm joking, Austin. We miss you tonight, man. And you know that big three. We're the big three. So we need you back come Monday. People, thank y'all. Friday, y'all be safe this weekend. Stay away from your executive assistants. Just go home. Go home. Get out the office. Go home. That's the problem. Coaches go home. But yeah, we will see y'all Monday. Peace out.